Today I'm going to talk about the frequency of love, and I'll start by talking about sounds. And Rabbi Manis Friedman, who has built up quite an empire on not only YouTube, but live in person in Minnesota, talks about the sounds of life. And he says, the sound of the minerals is a statement. The sound of vegetable is a song. The sounds of animal is praise and thanks. We can think of birds chirping, cows mooing. And the human sound is transcendence. We can think about how we get born into the sun, making a sound that we may not have the capacity to hear. But sometimes when you're just sitting and having the sun bathing you with warmth, most sounds do disappear. And if we think about the tree of life versus the tree of judging, it's an addiction to the knowledge of opposites. And we start with the core health, which is just existing, the core of us just existing, and it's like a core, like a core of a reactor, of electronics, of a computer. And then we have a different kind of frequency when we feel like we matter. We start to take up a little more space. I matter. I am matter. Not just I exist, but I am matter. I matter. And this is moving into safety, which starts to go, I am safe, and we start to even be able to look at the world and even take in information. We get to take in and adjust, and so there's this more balanced frequency. It's more resilient. It can handle change better versus the existing if something were to come, it would go or I need to exist, or I don't exist, and I matter, I need to matter. Versus when we start to feel safe, it's more stable. Then we go into functioning. I'm doing well, I'm doing a good job, people like me, I like myself, I like what I'm doing. And this becomes an even more stable frequency. We're getting closer to love, right? And then we have progressing, which is I make mistakes and I learn from them. And this is starting to become a very large frequency that could handle many ups and down frequencies. If anything challenges our existence, or that we matter, or that we're safe, this, or even if we're functioning, versus feeling defective or regressing, feeling imbalanced. So this progressing frequency, I'm doing better than I was. There's ups and downs. It starts to learn how to ride the waves of life. And this is very close to love. This is very close to contentment. And finally, we have contributing. I am valuable. I am necessary. I am divinely gifted. And this is an extremely potent, strong vibration of love. I'm here to share my presence and my blessing. I am cared for. Even if no human cares for me, all of life cares for me. And I don't mean to say no human cares, but even if there's not a single person, a specific individual that we could say loves me enough, there's that strong vibration of love, which is bigger than I can put in the screen. It's all of life. It's bigger than just me. And that's the contribution frequency. So how do we return to this love frequency? And the Creator had enough love to share with all creation. So that's why the contributor, the sustainer, the nurture energy is very powerful. It goes back to the presence of love, which exists for all life to manifest. And if we move back from having something to share versus just making my own way with a basket on my back maybe, versus functioning, I'm able to be okay right now, just get my basic needs met, versus safety, I could stop and look around me and also interact, like respond. And then mattering is like I'm worthy of just being given attention to if I show up, or for me to even think I can eat another living creature, whether it's a vegetable, a carrot, or lettuce, or apple, or an animal, it would be, I matter. And, I can sleep, I matter, this body matters, the needs matter. And then moving into just existing is just, in a way, releasing all identity and just being. Not the kind of being that doesn't need anything, the kind of being that's hanging on for dear life to that thread. Like a mineral. It's easy to recombine the minerals, and with fruits and vegetables it's easier than with animals to sort of cut them up and grind them down and have them barely exist as a carrot anymore. It's harder to do that with an animal, and of course it's even harder to do that with a human. So as we engage in our own humanity, we develop a new kind of being, a being in love versus being in existence. So being in love is we turn from just existing to being in the frequency of contentment, contribution, built on our progression, and fundamentally safety, mattering, and functioning. Seeing where I am beloved beyond recipe or comparison or a formula, and basking in it. Another practice, feeling my needs met and being focused on receiving heart and mind conscious attention and connection. Being recognized as having a common origin of soul, yet being a unique aspect. The spirit as a bridge between infinite and finite is still in the Garden of Eden. The paradise, it's available. Body, emotional, and spirit, intellectual, and godly are 5 aspects of the human. Nefesh is the body, Ruach is the emotional energy body, Neshama is the spiritual body, Chaya is the intellectual or life body, the divine intelligence, and Yechida, which is the unity, is oneness, is the godly body. And we develop the capacity to cure, to release habits that result in unfulfillment or unmet needs, learning to communicate and put the other in God's hands, noticing what's drawing me. This might mean telling somebody I'm not able to do what you need, or I can't be available in that way, and just trusting that the unity and the life will care for them. Recognizing unsolicited information, proofs of worth, paranoid accusations is being disguised, not being the true self. Protecting, taking care of, seeing, keeping, loving, sharing the dreams that we have, sharing our travels with each other. Being a conductor of greatness is to the conduct. A conductor has conduct, ability. Conducting, that is conduct that is determined and patient. The inner guru and the ego start to hold hands. We familiarize ourselves with the truth of our being, and not hold on to what will inevitably dissolve is a way to meet needs for confirmation that I exist, I matter, I'm safe, I'm functioning, I'm progressing, and I'm contributing. Not interrupting, being a big ear who listens, accepting my own weirdness and uniqueness first, and then hearing people speak, they're just saying, who they are. If it's not exactly who I am, just learning to be with the differences. I don't have to make a home for it. I can witness. Being the seed is the birthright, attracting reassurance, advocating for ourselves, strength and representation. For example, I'm a gift. People are lucky to know me. How am I representing myself? The mindset of today's the day for living and dying. Today's the day for being compassionate and graceful. Today's the day for witnessing where I'm clingy or stubborn. Speaking up for myself, saying no, or I was violated, or please help me, or that hurts. Sharing about times where I was suppressed back then because there was no one to trust. Choosing my own company over friends who don't care about me without taking it personal. They don't have enough care to share, to contribute. They may be at the functioning level. Defending my loved ones from predators and being defended by friends, family, and lovers. This is on the level of safety, caring about other safety and my own. Not abandoning my body for someone else to use it or abuse it. This is, again, safety and mattering. Not practicing skills of pleasing others at my expense, even though I'm good at it. Seeing my preciousness and that I've earned my bliss by being here now. I can feel better when I see that there's nothing to get to or to run from. Be here now. Here. This is the best place. Now. This is the best time. Being. This is the best experience. Focusing on who wants to share time and company with me, not who doesn't. Work it out together, not running away. Allows us to apologize, resolve, be responsible instead of hiding our mistakes, getting cognitive dissonance. Carry my burdens and get support when needed, refusing to carry others when I can't. That's at the level of even existence. I exist without having to carry anyone else's burden. I'm not an object. I exist as a being before I exist as an object. Being an object is only when I have the ability as an instrument to contribute. Curiosity about getting to know. Open versus dominating. Coexisting stars versus there's one best person. Everybody gets to coexist as a star of their life. Cherishing peace, respect, quiet, and stillness. Building and trust. Loving affection being shared. And having a teacher, a master, somebody to give guidance on the way to the ones that are holy, the ones that are working on being wholesome, the ones that are trying to fill up with light. The master gives it to them directly. And definitely paying attention to dreams. Wishing you a beautiful day, returning to love. Finding transcendence, praise and song. Statements. Thanks. And balance and existing, mattering, safety, functioning, progressing, and contributing, core health, and balanced life.